Warning, heavy spoilers for Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 7. You have been warned. Oh my gosh, Saturday's episode was absolutely fantastic. Yes, I know that even despite there being a lack of action sequences, it made up for a lot of character growth. While I do love the action animation in Solo Leveling, I am also here for the drama, the character growth, and the world building, which this anime does a great job at doing. They also did a great job at adapting the Manwha. A huge shout out to @SoloLevelAnime on X, as well as El Posito for posting these Manhwa versus anime comparisons. While I must admit that there are one or two shots where the Manhwa has more detail and intensity, the overall episode was faithfully adapted, keeping the spirit of the Manhwa while adding its own extra flair. This one shot of the flying ant, oh my, it looks absolutely terrifying in the anime version. Go check out my full review for Season 2 Episode 7 of Solo Leveling, but while we wait for Saturday, we don't have to wait too long to see some new scenes. For the upcoming episode, we get a new tease into what Season 2 Episode 8 will look like according to these new preview images, which were released by the official Solo Leveling X account. As I talk about these images, I'll be giving my own thoughts and theories. I am an anime only, so my theories may or may not come true. Please avoid giving any manhwa spoilers, but if you want to, add a spoiler warning in front of the comments so that myself and anime onlys like me don't get spoiled reading those comments. First up, the first new preview image scene is of Guild Master Troy, and the dude is so well drawn in this scene. I'm loving the shadows, I'm loving his confidence look in his eyes. In last week's episode, Troy went through a range of emotions. He went from acting all goofy around the White Tiger Guild leader Yeon-Hoo to looking incredibly horrified at the sight of Jinwoo's powers. So maybe this new preview image is of him thinking about White Tiger Guild leader Yeon-Hoo and thinking, damn, Jinwoo really struck fear into his heart. But another theory of mine is the flying ants. There have indeed been multiple scenes of Troy talking to people about the flying ants. He was talking to the leader of the surveillance team on getting an update regarding the flying ants, and Guildmaster Troy will finally get an update regarding the flying ants. Speaking of the flying ants, we did see that scene of the flying ant flying across the moon, and I did like that scene because it was some sort of parallel to what Jinwoo was saying. He was talking about how I'm gonna use my powers to try and clean up the city, almost like he is some sort of vigilante like Batman, while the flying ant was just hovering above him, more or less casting a shadow over Jinwoo. I feel like the flying ant is going to be one of the final main bosses in Season 2. Maybe Jinwoo is going to fight this particular ant in the finale of Season 2, but then it's going to be revealed that, oh, he was just one out of many of these flying ants. Maybe this flying ant is nothing more than a subordinate, and maybe one of the final bosses is the Ant King. Just my theory. The second new preview image is of our boy Igris. As we all know, in the previous episode, Sung Jin-woo was about to fight this mysterious armored warrior. Both Igris and this armored warrior both have a similar hairstyle. I do wonder if there is some sort of connection between these two. I know they are part of different dungeons, but will defeating this warrior have an effect on Jin-woo's mentality? Back in Season 2 Episode 11, after he defeated Igris, the dude immediately fought off a horde of new enemies. The dude was pushed to his limits and he ended up thinking about his own younger self, being reminded of how weak he was. I do wonder if these warriors with the red hair are some sort of bad omen. Jinwoo was pushed to his limits in that episode. Maybe Sung Jin-woo gets another existential crisis like he did back in Season 2 Episode 12, where he starts recalling his younger self, berating him and telling him how weak he is once again. It's just a theory of mine. The reason why I say that Jinwoo may have another existential crisis is because of this new third preview image. Jinwoo looks so mad in this shot. The shadow under his eyes, the eerie purple orbs floating around him. The dude looks like he's been pushed to a corner. He's not smiling anymore. In the last episodes, the last few frames of Season 2 Episode 7 were of him smiling down at the mysterious master warrior, feeling so cocky and confident. But now, we don't see that same look in his eyes. Maybe he misjudged the entire situation, and maybe he has to pull out all the stops, go above and beyond. But despite him having Igris, Iron, and Tusk on his side, will it be enough to defeat these two enemies? As the fourth and fifth images are of this silver dragon with red eyes and this Goliath of a beast with red eyes. I feel more intimidated by this one character than the dragon. The dragon seems to be some some sort of puppet of his. My theory is that this is the main boss of the demon castle, and that golden warrior that was walking back away from Jinwoo in the previous episode is nothing more than a second in command, as some sort of subordinate to the demon castle king. Whatever the case is, I am hyped for episode 8 of season 2 Solo Leveling, but I also have a few more theories that I think is going to happen in this episode. While I feel like the majority of the episode will be Jinwoo against the Demon Castle King, I can't stop thinking about what Yeonwoo talked about Jinwoo in the previous episode. He said something that sent a shiver down my spine. What if he's not a reawakened hunter, but one capable of getting stronger over time? I feel like that question has more or less been answered by the Ice Elves and Carligan, as when they sensed Jinwoo, they were like, this guy isn't a human. Reawakened hunters in this hunter association have a good idea on how one develops as a reawakened hunter, but Yeonwoo was incredibly puzzled by Jinwoo, as Sung Jinwoo seems to be developing far more than your ordinary reawakened hunter. The armored magical beast in episode 7 of season 2 was walking back in fear as they saw Jinwoo's powers. It is incredibly rare to see a magical beast in these dungeons show fear, showing us the insane amount of power Jinwoo has acquired over the past few weeks. Maybe this armored warrior is starting to look at Jinwoo as one of their own, as the stronger he gets, the less human he becomes. What if the end of the series is Jinwoo slowly morphing into a magical beast, showing no human emotions? We know Chai Hai-in, the dancer, is also quite stunned by Jinwoo's lack of stench. Maybe she's not smelling him as a human. And speaking of the dancer, she had a very strange reaction to Jinwoo being the 10th ranker. At first, I thought she was quite calm, as she knows that Jinwoo has a huge amount of strength. She wasn't surprised by this news, but maybe she's starting to grow fearful of Jinwoo. Yes, I know that she was blushing over him in the previous episode, but now she seems to have a cold look in her eyes. Maybe she too is also seeing Jinwoo as neither a human nor a monster, but something else entirely. Maybe she was told that any humans who don't stink could indeed be connected to the magical beasts and the dungeons and may have to be eliminated. Will Chai Hai-in have to execute Jinwoo if he goes too far down the dark path? Who knows? We just got to wait and see. I do think it's a little bit obvious that Jinwoo will acquire not just the silver dragon, but also the golden armored warrior and his demon castle king. I feel like once he eventually acquires those powers and he finally gets the third and final ingredient for the elixir of life, he will finally be able to use that to help his mom. But will it be enough? I did say in the previous episode that may not actually work on ordinary humans, but those who live in the dungeons or connected to them, i.e. Jinwoo, possibly his father and all of the demons inside those dungeons. If it doesn't work, then Jinwoo will possibly go down deep into despair. Like I said before, maybe he slowly morphs into a magical beast, one that Chai Hai-in and the S-rankers have to defeat. Maybe Jin-ho, his new bro, will possibly be the key to helping him out, as his own father is also suffering through the same disease as Jinwoo's mom. Maybe Jin-ho loses his father from the disease, and maybe him and Jinwoo's connections of loss may be the key to saving Jinwoo and bringing him from the dark side to the light. But who knows, it's just a theory of mine. But overall, I love these new preview images. They have truly hyped me up for what is potentially going to be a great episode according to Manwha readers. Will my theories come true or not? We just got to wait and see. But tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of these 5 new preview images? Do you like them or not? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more solo leveling videos, as well as other anime news updates, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy do the view, signing out.